Shalom and good day all, this is Tikilim29 back again for another manga I have recently read through video, and as you can see here I've actually got quite a big list, and yes, I've been sharing some shorts in relation to this, and I must admit it's really nice to really make a start and also finish off Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan. And I must admit, this story really had me reflecting on some other manga that I have already read through. In some parts, it reminds me a little bit like Demon Slayer. Other parts, it reminds me of Jujutsu Kaisen. Plus a whole list of others. And one thing that I sort of did like, but that was up towards the end of the story, is that we actually had someone who used cursed writing against the main character, to which we see the main character, who is called Rikyo Nura, and of course he aspires to be like his old man, Nuharion. If I can find a picture of him, I'll show him, who's right there. And we also get a younger looking, or this is Nura Rikyo himself. Now, I must admit, this story was really interesting because in this story you have the character that is basically descendant from a yokai clan. But the thing that makes this character different is that it's almost like this character has yokai blood in the system. So the way how this story is presented is that it's very lineage and legacy based. And I really enjoyed what happened with the character from beginning to end. And I really must admit, I enjoyed the cast of characters, including sort of like some of his best friends, Kana being one of them, plus a whole list of others, including those who are there to protect him. And one of his missions, sort of like throughout the story, is that he sort of like wants to get like a 100 demon parade. Even though that doesn't quite come to fruition in some parts, he still makes the best of what he does. Now, in the beginning of the story, you do get to see him somewhat transform, and this sort of connects to the yokai blood that's in his system. And he's sort of like considered a half human, half yokai. And I like this a little bit, and in some essence, it does remind me a bit like Naruto, but not 100% completely. But I like how they applied the story in regards to the character's lineage. There were times in the story to which the character even asked his grandfather, being Nuharion, right here, to tell him some stories of Lord Rikyo of the past. Now, when this character happens to change, or when Rikyo Nura begins to change, he basically turns into the descendant, who is the Lord Rikyo of the past. So we get a connection between past and present, and his job is to keep a balance between the yokais and the humans. But we also get to see demons, we get to see things Yakuza, ninja related. It's a really interesting story. I never thought I would enjoy it as much. Yes, you meet people from other clans, such as I think it was the Kekai clan, which was really interesting as well. Then we had the Gokuden clan. We even had its own version of Hagoromo, of that clan, and it was really exciting. So moving towards the overall rating of this series, the art in this was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I absolutely enjoyed the covers. As you can see here, there's only 25 volumes to this series, and every volume looks fantastic. And as you can see there, when I finished volume 25, I ended up catching up with Komi Can't Communicate. And as you can see there, with Komi Can't Communicate, the characters actually starting to move into their second year. So I think what I might do quickly is, or as quick as possible, and that is the rating for the first 5 all in one group, and that is a 7.5 out of 10. The rating for the next group, so 6 to 11, a 7.5 out of 10. As things start to change, we start to move into the 8s, so volumes 12 to 18, so 8 out of 10. A slight drop once again, but is it really that terrible? Not really. So we move on to volumes 21 to 25, and a 7.5 out of 10. So if I were to give the whole series an overall rating, I think it deserves an 8 out of 10, because I enjoyed so much, and also what the characters gave in the story. It's absolutely unique in its own way. I'd want to read through it again. In fact, I wouldn't mind checking out the animated series. So, moving on to the last thing, and that is Komi Can't Communicate, Volume 15. For this, it's really nice to return it, so a 7 out of 10. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.